Hello everybody, Lex the Grey here. Welcome back to another session of Shadows of Darkain. Where we left off, we were in the location of Riverport at the Maiden's Claw, right here on the map. The southeast portion of Maiden's Claw. Now, of Riverport. So, as you might have noticed, I have a few maps here printed out already as we continue to explore the island of Exeter, which is where Shadows of Darkain takes place. Riverport is in the very north portion of the island, north point of the island. These are our four characters. I recommend watching our previous two episodes. Season 0 is where we developed them. We have Ellis, Red, Clovis, and Jules. So our team just slayed a demonic mantis that spawned from the ground after a odd storm passed, and a lightning struck right outside Maiden's Claw. There was a portal that appeared below the mantis as it phased through the ground into the air. It was an aerial creature based on maze rats, from how we created the monster itself. Now, the team is assuming that there are going to be other ones in the town because there were multiple lightning strikes. So, from prior, if we go back to my journal here that I just started doing for our adventure here, we fended off that demon, and in the background currently there is a newly elected lord of Riverport. His name is Lord Balthazar, and we met the NPC at the Maiden's Claw Orchid. She's a religious older lady. But everything that happened up to that point, we dealt with a drunken husband without having to get into any physical contact. We just basically intimidated him, and he basically left with his wife, not knowing how that concluded. Then we also, one of our characters saw a very minor incident where a patron stole from her pouch. The wife left at the bar. So those are two minor things that occurred in the last scene. So currently we're trying to figure out how this next scene goes. So let's shape it. Basically, this is going to be scene 2 in this session. And I think the chaos factor I'm going to be using... Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot to mention. I'm using my Mythic GM Emulator 2nd edition, this cheat sheet. I have GM coming into the mail here soon. Not sure when it will arrive exactly, but I'm just going to get myself prepared. I might not follow this exactly to the rules. I'm going to have to house rule it a few times, but because I'm not familiar with the system, I'll read the whole book before I actually follow these methods exactly per the rules. But I'm going to be using at least the chaos factor concept by raising it when it's more chaotic and lowering it when it's more calm, based on how that's how I interpret it. And I will be using the meaning tables in Action 1, Action 2. We might use random events because I will see if I can follow this little section here, testing the expected scene. So, with that in mind, the goal of this scene is to find the other demons and protect innocent lives. That is our very broad objective in this session. So let's go back to Riverport. So Riverport is a coastal location. Here is the coast. We have where we are right, like I said, the party of 4 right here. And we heard some screams coming from the distance. One of our characters also saw a light appear in the hills just south of Riverport, though it vanished and we weren't able to pinpoint it. One of the characters who saw it was not able to pinpoint it exactly. I think it was Clovis who saw it, one of our characters. So right now, let's roll to see what happens with our current scene starting. So we're rolling for chaos factor 6. I pushed up a bit because of everything that's been happening so far. I think nearly certain, are we going to find creatures nearby? nearly certain. So 33. That's a yes based on this spot right here. So 33 is an odd number, which means we have to do an altered scene. Altered within the chaos factor. Again, I think I'm using these rules wrong, but I'm going with it. Altered meaning that we have to figure out that we heard two screams. So I believe the party just heard two screams in the distance, one coming from the north and one coming from the northwest. So in near the harbor and then near the middle square, the middle area of Riverport. So our characters are thinking, they're not panicking, they are grouped up, they're saying what should we do? There's other innocent lives out there that are most likely dealing with these creatures we just witnessed. So little conversation with our team here. So Ellis, the natural leader, who I basically assigned as the leader, he thinks they should go towards the square because that's where most of the most populated area may be. Red, he rambles on about how the harbor is busy at this time of, let's see what time of day it is right now. It is morning, so he thinks the harbor will have the most traffic. He's rambling on about the certain deliveries and blah blah blah. He's a little nervous, like it says here. Clovis is he laughs and he says, "Why should we care about some helpless civilians when we can just go find these creatures ourselves and dispatch them?" Ellis is like, "Look, you selfish bastard, we have to deal with these creatures as innocent lives are at stake here. This is what makes us the heroes," and they have a little argument. Now, Jules interrupts and says, he makes a joke about the monsters, how they should be easy to kill if we just fended off the one with the flying mantis with wings. And so they all conclude, okay, so let's make a call. Now, basically, here's how it's going to go. Ellis is going to roll a d6. We're going to roll a d6 for Ellis. I'm thinking the team is kind of split on it. So, based on the pages here, Ellis and Red are going to be blue, and the others are going to be red. So blue means we'll go towards the square. Red means we'll go to the harbor. Looks like we're going to the square. And even one of the characters changed their mind on the other side. So they all in agreement. They're like, fine, we're going to go towards the square. So as they travel through this alleyway, this path right here, they make a right, and they spot there's a slight opening between the buildings surrounding the area. There's obviously a market here. People are running from the market past them as our characters are watching people run. So let's roll to see what's happening right now as we're most likely approaching another creature. Let's try let's just experiment with a random event. I like using that sometimes. 18. A new NPC. Okay, so a new NPC appears. That works. We'll try that. This new NPC, I'm going to say it is a older merchant who is crawling for his life. He has his legs have been torn, not to shreds, but he's like something fell on him. And okay, there we go. So there is a merchant on the ground right here. And his legs are, his wagon, something fell on him, and he's trapped underneath something, a large object, a large wagon perhaps. And no one's helping him, people are running by him, and people are panicking, running, screaming. And remember, there's no storm right now. It's partly cloudy, its conditions are better than before, because the storm spawned, that's when the lightning struck. So clearly it was an artificial storm spawned by someone or something. Now they're going to help them, naturally. So they are going to, I think Ellis being the strongest one, he volunteers to go help the old man lift the large wagon. So we're going to roll with a modifier +2. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's actually really, really good. So that's 9, 10, 11. So that's a standard success. He lifts the wagon with all of his strength, and the others pull so Ellis lifts the wagon with his brute strength. The others pull the man out, and then he drops, and then Ellis lowers the wagon back onto the ground. And so they check on him. He is. Let's see, how hurt is he? How badly hurt is this individual? Let's see. It's an old man, so I'm thinking he probably is. It's chaos factor, so very likely he's hurt. Like, he can't walk. Yep, that's a very solid yes. So it's an extreme yes. He broke his leg. Like, his legs are busted. So that wagon was so heavy, crushed his legs to the point where he cannot walk. And this is an older, frail man, an old merchant. So, are there any? I'm going to say there is probably a couple of a bench nearby. So they're going to take him from the current position off to the side as there's a riot. There's a crowd of people still kind of periodically running by, and they put him on. They lean him against the wall on a. Let's say there's a chair or a barrel or something. They ask him, "Are you all right? Can you sit here for now while we go get help? We'll go find someone." And the merchant, let's say this older guy is perhaps very worried about his goods. He's very he's like, there's a monster in the central market. He's fighting some guards. They're trying their best to fend them off, but it's a fierce, demonic-looking creature of hellish characteristics, however he says it. So, of hellish looks. And so he's like, I'll stay here, but my wagon, it's caught up in it's toppled over, and he's pointing to the wagon that he was probably pulling, or his horse is pulling. I'm saying if there was a horse, it's gone now because of the creature. But his wagon got pushed over somehow, and he's worried about his goods inside the wagon. So Ellis is basically saying, look, your life is in danger at the moment. You need to worry about yourself for now. We're going to go take care of this creature. He said, I'm trying to stay in character. Ellis, he's know-it-all. He's like, look, I can take care of this creature. We just took care of one from earlier. We're going to defeat all these bastards and send them back to hell where they belong. And so he takes out his sword. And the old man is like, thank you. Just please come back when you're done. He said, come back and help me with my goods. And so our crew is like, we'll do what we can. So we're going to depart from the old man and walk into the market. So is there still a creature here? I'm thinking there is a solid chance that this creature is still present in the middle market. And that's going to be a nearly certain Chaos Factor 6. That's a solid 10. The creature's there, and I'd say that it has killed off a few guards already. So let's get into combat here. So the market, it's there. This is probably a fountain of sorts that's probably broken apart because of the battle. There's vendor stalls here. There's a big probably a flea market off to the side here with fruits and bread. And there's just people are running and scared. And so the creature, which I'll put with this darker silver die, is right here. And then there's going to be a couple of guards. Probably, let's say there's 2 guards left. There's a few dead ones, probably right here, as their weapons are on the floor. One's probably dead over here. This creature has to be pretty bad for it to have... let's give it a difficulty of 6. So, as these guards are fighting. Now, let's get the maze rats and see what this character is exactly. This monster, which we create with maze rats. So, it's going to be, I think, we'll roll a d6 for the monster here. It's going to be it can't be an aquatic one. It's another aerial creature, which does make sense. It's kind of in theme with the other one we saw earlier. So it's an aquatic creature. I'm going to say, let's roll to see what type of aquatic creature. So, table 5, or let's see, list 5, choice 6. I am not sure what that is, so I'm going to re-roll again. I've never heard of that before in my life. So let's see, table 4. A locust. Locust is actually much better. I like that. So it's a locust. It's a demonic-looking locust. So we'll put locust. And the Locust is currently fighting those two guards, and I think most of the square is currently cleared out from anybody. So now we have to figure out how we're going to approach this Locust, because it's I think a similar difficulty to the creature we dealt with last time, the Mantis. But we are right here, just next to the flea market, between more vendors. And so does the creature spot us at the, or is it too busy? I'm going to say that's going to be another, I'd say 50-50. I just don't know. I think it's too busy with the guards. Yeah, he doesn't spot us yet. So he's fighting the guards, which gives us a chance for a surprise attack. So I'm going to have my stealthiest character, who is Roof Runner, I think. Yep. So Red is our stealthiest character. He has the highest dexterity alongside Jules, but I think with willpower it might give us an advantage. So Jules is going to separate from the group and run up here to use his spear to strike from behind. So that's Jules right there. Let's actually use I'd say that's probably suitable. So Jules, I'm thinking I'm actually using the pencil for this part. So we have 1, 2. Jules is 2, so 3 and 4. So Jules will run up right there and strike from behind. I even could use the dice like that. There you go. That's better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so the dice are too big but we'll make it work. Now I'm gonna fix my camera really quick because I know it's really dark. Okay, well, I apologize about that delay. I'm not sure how long it was dark for, but I don't look at my preview too often, but I think that fixed it. So, and the other issue, my focusing has been fixed too. So these are the two guards, and I think they're going to take part in the fight if we do really solidify this as an encounter. So we strike Red strikes the flying Locust from behind using his spear, which is a standard weapon, so there's no bonus. He doesn't have an attack bonus, but I'm going to let him roll 3d6 for this action and choose him high because of his dexterity +2 bonus on the strike, because of the athletic roll. So that is, or because of his stealth attack. So ignoring the bottom one, that's a 9, and then +2 in dexterity, 10, 11. He's able to hit the Locust in the back, but in hitting it, let's see, what would be its health for this part of here? The Locust will track it. Has a health of, let's say, its armor is 6. So it's down to 4 now. I'll let him do double damage for that hit. The Locust turns around and is about to attack Red. But in doing so, we're going to roll for initiative because now we're in combat. Okay, so let's roll all of our dice. And I'm going to use my dexterity bonus from 2 for Red. So we did tie, but we have the advantage with that +2. So we go first. Okay? So first is going to be Ellis. He's going to run up past the guards, jump onto the fountain, and strike with his longsword, which is a +1, against an armor value of 6. You know what? I'm going to make this creature a little tougher. I think each creature we interact with will get tougher and tougher if we do an interact. So 8. Alright, so I will roll for an attack from Ellis, using his longsword, +1. So he does his attack bonus of 1, so that's 5, so it's 10, +1, 11, so he deals 1 hit. Okay, then it's going to be, once again, Red's turn. Red is going to use his spear. Okay, so here we go. With 8, that's 6, 7, 8. That's a block. The spear does not have a bonus and does not have attack bonus. So now it's going to be 3's turn. 3 is Clovis. Clovis has a long spear. Clovis is going to run past the guards, but that's all he can do. He is not able to get in range. Then there's Jules. Jules has a long bow. He has to adjust a bit to get up slightly closer, and he's going to fire his arrow at no attack bonus, but do have the +1 damage. So Jules fires at the locust, and that is going to be 5, 6, 7. No attack bonus. That's unfortunately a miss. The arrow flies by the locust. The locust kind of moves out of the way, parries in a manner. So now, are the guards going to attack? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to say, let's ask the Oracle. Are the guards going to attack? Let's do a morale check for them. So morale checks are usually going to be 2d6. Let's roll 2d6 for them. I'll use the blue die because they're good guys. So we just have to get within the usual World Dungeons range after everything they've been through. They're going to chicken out. So the guards are not exactly going to They're not going to. So they run. Now, do they hide, or do they literally run back to the castle that's south of us, which most likely is where Lord Balthasar is currently housed? I'm going to say, do they hide? I think likely. 62. They do. Yep, that's a standard yes. They do indeed hide. So they run this way into the flea market at the same time, and they hide in a couple of fruit stands or what have you. So now it is the locust turn. Locust is going to attack. We'll do the usual d4. He's going to attack 4. He because of the arrow, he flies over around and is going to strike. 4 is Jules. So Jules has the armor similar of 8. Okay, so let's roll for the locust. Okay, and that's going to be a miss. Parry. He's able to dodge. Okay, now it's our turn. So back from the top. Ellis is going to jump off the broken fountain onto the ground and use his long sword once again. It's going to swipe at the locust with an attack bonus of +1. And ooh, that's a double damage. So that's 2 damage. That's a solid hit. So he takes 1 hit. The locust is now on the ground. His wing, that hit sliced one of his wings off, and now he's bound to the ground. Now it's number 2's turn, and who is going to be Red. Red goes up from behind it, uses his daggers. So we'll roll twice. Choosing the best roll. 6 is a miss. No bonus for these. 5, 6, 7 is a miss too. 3 is going to be Clovis with the long spear. He runs up and gets. We're really getting up on this guy. So we're going to attack with our attack bonus of nothing. That's clearly a miss with the first long spear. So now we're back to Jules. Jules is going to use his dagger because he's too close for the bow. He could move, but I think being ganged up on the locust is a good thing. So he's going to use his dagger. He only has 1 dagger, and that is a miss. So the guards they're still hiding. Now it's the locust's turn. The locust is going to attack the following 1, and that is going to be Ellis. Ellis is the most likely going to be the tank of this fight. So locust is going to attack. 6, 7. That does not hit. Now it's back to us. While we're ganging up, the locust screams some kind of chant. It's a loud, reverberating sound, unintelligible. And as it shouts, there's a large wave of energy, or like this distorted air, and it basically spawns another creature from behind, right here. A portal opens up, kind of distorted portal, opens up and a small creature appears. Let's figure out what this new one is. Okay, this new monster will be, I'm going to say, let's roll for what type of monster it is. Ignoring, alright, it's aerial. Okay, that does make sense. Now let's see what kind of creature, or what in the list. So 6/2. A sparrow. Okay, so giant demonic looking sparrow appears. The sparrow is going to be an armor class of 6, so it's a lesser of the two, with a 4 health. So it appears. It now has a turn, and 4 is going to, let's see, the sparrow is going to attack 2. So it flies just behind the flea market and attacks 2. 2 is red. It's going to attack red. Red has a standard armor of 8. And, ooh, that actually is a hit. So, 9. Red takes 1 hit of 6 now. So 6 out of 9 hearts. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm just adjusting its health. Red's health. Okay, now it's our turn. So the guards are peeking out from around the corner. They're curious. Okay, so now it's our turn. Sorry, I had to step away for a call. Now it's our turn. I believe I've lost my order and things, but I'm going to just keep going along here. Now it's our turn. Ellis is going to attack the very almost dead Locust. We just have to roll +1 attack bonus using his longsword. And that is going to be a hit. Locust is out. It dissipates, disappears into the air, vanishes, sprinkles away, however. So Locust has been defeated. I'm sorry, yes, the Locust is gone. I was thinking of the Sparrow. Locust is gone. Now, the Sparrow doesn't do anything. Okay, so now it's going to be Red's turn. Red is closest to the Sparrow. And he's going to use his spear. No attack bonus. And that's going to be 5, 6, 7. That's 1 hit. So 3 health left. Then it's Third's turn. Third is going to be Clovis. Clovis will run around Red and attack with a dagger. Or, I'm sorry, a long spear. No attack bonus on this roll. A 9, that's also a hit. So it's down to 2. Last is going to be Jules. Jules has no attack bonus. So basically, our only person who has attack bonus is Ellis, the leader. So that way I don't have to repeat myself every time. Ellis is going to, Jules is going to have to run around here. That's all he can do for now. So now it's the Sparrow's turn. Sparrow flies up into the air and lands right here and attacks 1, who is Ellis. Ellis is going to take, let's see what happens to Ellis. Nothing, that's a critical fail. Misses. Then it's back to us. Red is going, Ellis is going to attack with its +1. Longsword. That's me. 5, 6, +1, that's 7. It hits. Takes another hit, and it's on its last wing. Now it falters to the ground. And it is going to be Red's turn. Red runs up to it, thinking he can finish it, and uses his spear for him to attack it. That is a finisher. The Sparrow, the spear goes straight through the Sparrow's head. It dies, collapses on the ground, and just disappears. So that is the battle. Now, the guards, let's get rid of the red dice because we are out of combat at the moment. The guards step out of the flea market, seeing that the team, let's go back to 4 die as a team. The team has vanquished the 2 creatures, the one who spawned a little later. They're looking around with their weapons drawn. They're kind of bunched up, and they said, "Are they gone? Is there any more? What happened? What are they?" And of course, Ellis will take the lead. He says, standing all firmly and confident, "We have vanquished the creatures. They have been defeated. You can thank me later." And the guards are going to respond. Let's see how they react. because I think the guards are pretty cowardly. I'm wondering if we should roll for this at all. 30, which is going to be 9. You know what? That doesn't make too sense for them to roll. Let's just go with it. So, the guards, them being both cowards, maybe the low-level guards, they're just like they're guarding a door. Like they were just kind of patrolling the area. And they're one on each side, and then the creatures spawn, and they're like, we're just volunteers, and we were just patrolling, and all of a sudden these damn creatures popped out of nowhere and started attacking innocents, and that's where I'm going to add. Ellis looks around. He says, I don't see anybody. Now, are there any dead innocents on the ground? That's where our first question is going to be. I'm going to say likely with a chaos factor 6. 37. There is. Okay, so there's a few scattered, unfortunate dead civilians around the area, including the guards. So Ellis looks around. He says, that's very unfortunate. God rest their souls. And then Ellis notices the guards. He says, we sorry for your loss. You lost. Sorry for your 2 comrades. And the guards are shaking still. They're like, yes, they're mighty fine warriors. They're far braver than us. They'll be turning in the graves and seeing us run. And our team basically says to tell them not to worry. We are going to take care of this. We have to get to the harbor because that's where most likely another creature we heard. And so the guards thank us for the assist on this. They ask what our names are, and we give our names. So the guards say that is they thank us, they shake our hands, we're like, we will tell Lord Balthasar of what you've done here. And then they run off back to the castle. So I'm going to mention that we can put this stuff away now. So I'm going to mention that we have we now have a reputation built with the guard. And so let's jump over here to our journal as we kind of document what just transpired. So we defeated 2 demons, saved 2 city guards, and they will tell the king, they'll tell the Lord of Hero's Act. Okay, so that is what they do. So we're right here now. The guards ran back through the garden into the castle, so we're not exactly done yet. I think this episode will include one more encounter if possible. So now we're going to run back to the old man. Is the old man still there? I'm going to say very likely. He didn't move an inch. 6. Oh yeah, he is there, but oh, that's that's interesting. So something beyond just a yes. I'm wondering something. NPC action. So I just experimented. I rolled with NPC action. What does the old man do? 86. Struggle. That does make sense. And then 12. Business. You gotta be kidding me. That's exactly what I was like. That's a perfect roll. He is trying to, like, he's crawling. Like, this guy is so desperate. He's crawling at his blood is just not gushing out, but like there's a trail of blood on the dirt on the cobblestone path, and he's at his wagon that tipped over on top of it, and he's trying to get inside. He's like trying to crawl on top, and we stop him like right here. We tell him, "What are you doing? We told you to stay still." He said, I need to check my goods. I have to get inside. So I'm thinking this is a new NPC we got here, because this guy is, we're focusing on him quite a bit. So let's introduce him here. So we don't know much about Lord Balthasar, but let's make a name for this guy. So he's an older merchant. We know that. We know his characteristics, but we don't know his name. And so we're asking, what is your name, old man? And I'm gonna roll here. Let's just do a lower class. Let's do a lower class surname. 6-3. Stoker. So Stoker is let's put this in our notes here. So Stoker is a old merchant. He's obsessed. That's his character trait. So, like, remember with Orchard, he is I didn't put it in here, but religious. She's very religious. I didn't exactly play on that much in her appearance. I think I've mentioned one or two lines, but I probably should expand on on NPC's characteristics. But Stoker, we're trying to help him right now, and he's extremely hurt. So now what we're gonna do is just give him medicine. Ellis asks Clovis. He pushes him on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, can you spare something for this guy?" And Clovis is heartless. He just fights for the blood of it. You know, he fights for the excitement. He doesn't care about. He's heartless. Doesn't care about others. He's like, "I'm not sparing my." And then I think Jules wisecracks, interrupts usual. He says, "Yeah, of course you're not gonna spare any. Yeah, you weakling. You gotta keep it for yourself." And then they start fighting. And then Ellis says, "Look, just spare him one medicine. That's all. We'll get more later." And I think Clovis does. You know, he does eventually agree. So we're gonna give a medicine to the old man to help him out, some magical healing agent, and let's see if it does. Yeah, I'm gonna say it does help him. We give him some medicine. His legs do start to heal a little bit, but not like completely. He can probably crawl at this point, but he sits again, so he gets up a bit. He takes what the medication was, just lore-wise. I'm not too worried about it. He gets up a bit on his knees. And he sits back against the cart, against his merchant cart. He takes a deep breath and he's like, "Oh gosh, that's much needed." He's like, "Thank you very much." Like, puts his hands together like praying. He's like, "Thank you." Takes Ellis' hand. I thank you for everything. Your help. You saved my life. You helped me to store. And then suddenly, there are more screams. People scattering, coming from the harbor. Ellis is like, he's like, because he's like, "I'm sorry, what's your name?" He's like, "I'm Stoker. People call me Stoker." He's like, "Listen, Stoker, just, hang here for now. We just, just recover as much as you can. We have to go take care of whatever that was." And so the party now leaves. He's waving them goodbye. He's just, the cart's toppled over, merchandise, the cart, whatever it is just on the ground. So our group is going to go through this alleyway. I'm sorry, right through here. And we'll make a right. As we get here, let's see what they find. So, whoops. What do they run into? Current context. Okay, so yes, people are running past them, bumping into our characters. We're trying to stay on the side. We're running here. We make a left turn right here. We get to where we start to smell like fish and seawater, ocean smell and there's a breeze. We make a right. We get up to the harbor. There's a port here. We're not really sure where. People running by from like all sides. We stop one person. Does this person stop to answer? We try to stop one person. It's like, Ellis asks, "Where is there another creature about?" And let's see if this person 50-50 stops to answer. 63 doesn't. The person just shakes his head and keeps running. It's just a fisherman of sorts. And so, is there another scream? I'm going to say likely. Chaos factor is 6. Ooh, that's a very strong yes. So, interesting. Let's try a altered scene. Let's try an act and see what happens. 2. Accompany. 5. Attention. Ooh, you know what? There are going to be some guards that pop up. There's 3 guards. Actually, no, there's 1 guard. But this guy looks very official. He looks like a captain of sorts, like a higher ranking guard. He sees us going towards the trouble, and he is. It looks like he's not wounded, but looks like he's been dealing with kind of directing traffic, people struggling, running, telling people to run. He sees us. And he says, "You four, Are you capable of fighting? And we all nod our heads. Like, yes, yes. Is there another creature about? He says, yes, east from here in the harbor. He's attacking the boats. And so the guard, he says, follow me. So we're gonna follow him. He leads us. People are still running by, and he leads us right to the harbor. And there's a creature just there. So let's get another battle map. Now this creature is going to be just one, because he said creature. Now, is there one creature? Maybe it's found another. I'm going to say, is there just one creature? Very likely. Very likely, yes, there's just one creature. Okay, so 61 is the yes. Okay, so we're at the harbor. Let's look at the design here. We're right about here. So there's a harbor. I'm trying to draw it to where it's enough room for our dice. There's buildings here. There's like fishing. There's a wooden plank right there. There's a what do you call that? A port right there. There's another one up here. And the focus is going to be here. There's merchant tables, cars toppled over, people running back and forth. There's buildings here. These are buildings. Just there we go. And the creature is going to be an aquatic creature at this point. So our team, the guard, is right there, and this creature is going to be a. Let's give him. We'll give him an 8. So let's roll to see what this creature is. This will have a health of. Let's give him a health of something of 8. Where's my 8 die? There it is. Okay, there we go. That's his health. He's in the water, and it's an aquatic creature. So rolling for the aquatic table. It's a demonic. It's a manta. It's a manta ray. A manta ray. Mixed with. Let's mix it with something. Oh, I rolled that. I keep rolling 3s. Trying to give it some. There we go. 3, 4. A muskrat. It's a manta ray with like a rat's face. It's just a weird looking deformed creature. So it's a manta rat. Just call it that. It's a manta rat. And its armor is going to be 8. With its health of 8 also. So slightly like from earlier, difficult creature to fight. The guard's pointing, there it is, and it's like it's attacking a boat. Probably like right here. Just a little sailboat of sorts, a fishing boat. And there's some people on here. There's some innocents. Let's say it's an old couple. They're on there right there. So, and there's other boats here that are toppled over, sinking kind of into the water. There's another boat right in front of it. There we go. That's, they don't look the same. That's just the icon I'm using for boat. Let me center this so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. Get a little closer to it. There we go. So my manual focus is not working, so my camera does this occasional focus adjustment, but I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much, but I'm hoping you can actually see what's going on now on this little battle map. So I could be using my large battle map, but it's just a little cumbersome to pull out of here, and I don't think I have a bay on here. I do actually. Intriguing. So I will try that next time. I still prefer these little note cards for now, but we'll see. I'm still making adjustments on the set as we go. Okay, back to the game. So, there we go. Fix the focus. Excellent. Now you guys should be able to see it better. Okay, so it's attacking innocents. We are going to strike first. The guard points a sword to the creature. He's like, look, there it is. And one of the guys is like, yeah, no shit. And then I'm going to use Jules with his longbow to strike first. He's usually a good one to start first. And we're going to attack. It's within distance, so we'll get the red dice ready for the enemy. While this creature is attacking, pops out of the water, attacks. So let's roll for it. It's just a standard action roll. +2 on the bonus. Nice. So that's a 9, and that's 11 total with the dexterity. Fires a bow. It strikes the creature. And now it gets our attention. It's higher than the armor, so I'm going to lower it to 7. It does take a hit. The creature turns around and sees us. The guard kind of steps back, but he's not going to run. The guard says, he's like, good luck to you both, or good luck to all of you. And we ask the guard, are you going to fight with us? He says, I'll help with the civilians, so I'll get them off the boat. So he's going to run up to right here for now, and we're going to move up to here. So let's roll for initiative. We have the advantage with our +2 bonus with Jules. 1 second. Music stopped. There we go. All right, because it's definitely music worthy. Okay, here we go. This is initiative. 4 to 8. Oh yeah, +2. So that's 7, 8, 9, 8. So we go first, like before. Okay, so we're on. Let's split our characters up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're all kind of scattered out here. Okay, so first is, as always, Clovis. He has a melee weapon. He has a close range weapon, so he can't really. Can he attack? We'll have to risk it. So, is he able to attack the Mantis from close? Let's ask the Oracle, actually. Is the Mantis close to the bay? I'm gonna say 50-50. He is. Okay, so he's able to strike with a spear. He does have a spear, so it is just long enough. We're going to strike it. Armor class of 8. I'm sorry, not Clovis. I'm sorry, not Clovis. One is Ellis. Ellis strikes with +1 attack bonus. 9 lands. So that's 1 damage. Takes a hit. There we go. Okay, now it's going to be Red's turn. Red has a spear too, because it's close up, can strike it. Okay. That's going to be 5, 6, 7. No bonus, so that's a miss. Next is going to be Long Spear with Clovis. He's a 3. He has to get close by. He runs around, and he's going to strike it. That's a miss. Jules. Oh, Jules does perfect damage with the longbow. Jules is right here. That's double damage. That's 2 damage. The creature weeps like a loud screeching noise. It sinks into the water, and then momentarily it pops up right here. The creature is not a creature's turn. The guard is just about up to the boat to help the 2 out. So the creature does have a long-range attack. It's going to spitfire some kind of like energy ball of, let's say, acid, or not acid. I'm thinking, let's do like a spray, basically like a attack like Squirtle, like a water blast of sorts. So the creature will blast at. Who is the creature going to attack? Let's roll a d4. 2. Okay, so 2 is going to be Red. Okay, so Red has an armor of 8. That's it. That the water misses. The Red parries all the way. All right, now it's back to us. First, Ellis is going to run around, but he's not able to attack. That's all of his moves. 2 is going to be Red. Red runs through here, gets in between, runs around, and he's able to strike with his, he's going to use a spear because that's the only thing long enough. Against armor of 8, that's a miss. Next is Clovis. Remember, Clovis does have a magic spell, Soothing Elemental, but I don't think it's really useful at the moment. So Clovis is going to use his long spear. There we go. No attack bonus. That's a miss. Then it's Jules. Jules might be the VIP for this game, for this match. Jules has a long range. He gets in the range right here, fires his bow, and we're gonna roll for it. And that is a hit. takes 1 damage. We're down to 3. The Mantis once again screeches, and suddenly you see a trail of water shoot from the creature as it's still up. It's still above the water, and it spawns another portal, and appears another minion of sorts, like from earlier. It's another Mantis, it's a smaller one, but it only has a health of 4. And it screams again. Another trail of water shoots from below, goes underneath the boards, the floorboards, shakes the ground. Our character's kind of trying to keep their balance, and then spawns it right here behind the team. And that's going to be now the creature's turn. So the creature attacks. Let's see who the main creature attacks who. 3. Okay, so it's going to swim up to Clovis and attack. Oh, that's a hit. So Clovis takes damage. Takes now it's down to 4. Okay, so I gotta keep that one in mind when I track his health. Okay, now the 2 creatures. This one's going to attack. The one closest to the main creature. He's going to attack. Let's say Jules. 4. That's a hit. Jules is down to 4. Our team is starting to get hurt here. And the other creature from behind is going to attack 1. Okay. That is a miss. Okay, so now it's our turn. We're back in order. Let's see if we have to use any healing treatments coming up here. But Ellis is still locked on the main creature, so he's going to roll for attack bonus +1 on longsword. He's close enough, very close to the bay, and that is a hit. That's a +2 damage, because the standard damage the longsword has an extra, so that's 2 damage. So now it's down to 1. The Mantis is you see it panting in a way. It started to kind of go down in the water a little bit, like it's starting to sink. Now it's 2's turn. 2 is Red. Red has a spear. He's going to run up to this weak creature and strike it. Shouldn't be too hard. It's only armor 4. Yep, strikes it, and that's 1 damage. Yep, spear has standard damage, so that's going to be down to 1 damage. So it's 3. Okay, now it's going to be 3's turn. 3 is going to be Clovis. Clovis is going to use a long spear. Actually, Clovis is going to use an item at the moment. He's going to heal with medicine. Actually, he's going to wait. He's pondering, and then he's going to strike. So he's going to use a long spear against the main creature. Actually, yes, the main creature. Okay. That's a miss. So now it's 4. Jules attacks with a long bow. Going to strike the main creature, trying to kill it. 7. That's a miss. The bow flies by, and that was all of our moves. So now it's the red creature. It's the Mantis. The Manta Rat. Almost for the values of the other 2. So we have small Manta with an AR of 4. Small Manta 2. Also 4. Okay, there we go. My handwriting is atrocious at that angle. So I have this little thing here to lift my hand up. Okay, so the guards have rescued. He rescued the gosh. He's watching them. The civilians have fled, and now he's watching from a distance. Not really sure if he's going to attack or not, or going to help. But now it's the monster turn. 1 is going to attack. Let's see, who's going to attack? 4. 4's right here, Jules. So he's going to attack Jules. Okay. And that is going to be 6, 7, 8. That's a block. Okay, this smaller creature up here is going to attack number 2. And that's going to be red. And that's that's a hit. 7, 8, 9. That's hit 1 damage. So red's down to 5. Okay. Now, we have the other creature next to the main. He's going to attack Jules, which makes sense. It's right nearby. Okay, Jules has to see what happens. That's a block. Oh, that's a miss. Okay, now it's back to our team. Ellis is going to use long sword against the main creature, trying to slay it for once. +1 bonus roll. 4, 5. That's not good enough. Next is going to be Red. Red is going to try to finish off this small creature up here with his spear. That's a slay, or that's a hit. So down to 2. 3 is going to attack the smaller creature. Clovis attacks the smaller creature with long spear, +1. That's a miss. And then Jules will use the arrow on the main creature. 6, that's a miss. So we all kind of had a mixed results there. Now the creature is getting impatient, swims back, fires swims back over here, and then these creatures will, so he moves. This creature swims underneath the docks, back up and covers the main creature, so they both kind of pair up like this. And so this creature will attack Ellis. That's going to be a miss. The 4th, this guy will attack 3. That's going to be Clovis. Oh, that's a hit. Clovis takes 1 damage. So Clovis is down to 3 now. Alright. There we go. Now it's our turn. Is the guard going to assist? Let's say 50-50. No, he's not. He is panicking. He's saying that there's more monsters now. He's running. He's hiding behind. These guards are they're cowards. They're clearly cowards. I think they're volunteers. They're not exactly trained for this. So he's hiding behind a cart of food. Somebody's watching. Now it's our turn. Okay, so 1 is going to strike. Ellis is going to strike the closest creature that has 2 health left. That's a hit. Down to 1. Red is going to get in range and strike, go between here and strike that 4 creature. That's a hit. That's down 3 health. Oops. There we go. Okay. 3 is going to attack. I forgot to mention what the weapons were before. Okay, so long spear +1. Clovis will use a long spear on the 3 creature. That's a hit. +1 damage. So this creature's down to 1 now. From the regular damage and +1. Okay, so now it's Jules' turn. Jules is our only long-range combatant. So he will get a little off in range here and fire an arrow at the creature in the distance. Longbow, let's see what happens. That is a hit. Slays the creature. So this creature dies. The mantis falls into water. You can kind of see some light rays conjure up and disappear. Does that defeat the other 2 that respond? Does it mean that they disappear? I'm going to say unlikely. I think they're on their own at this point. But I was thinking that they have some kind of psychic connection or some kind of like a hive mind. They have a connection to the main source. I'm going to say unlikely though. Chaos factor. Yep, they do stay. Actually, yeah, they do stay. Okay, they do stay. All right, so I believe I did that right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to juggle all these characters. I'm gonna re-roll that. Do these creatures stay? I'm gonna say yes. They do. Okay. Go. Okay, so now it's their turn. They're basically down to the last health point. So this creature will attack Ellis. And that is a miss. The second creature is going to attack Red. That is also a miss. So now it's our turn. Ellis is going to finish off the creature, hopefully, right next to him with his mace. And that is a kill. So this one's dead, vanquished. Red is going to finish off the other creature next to him with the daggers. and is also a vanquished. So, these creatures have been fended off quite easily at the end there. And now we've regrouped. And the guard is right here. So, these creatures have been vanquished. He runs out, acting like he was about to help, and he says, "You've took care of them. Well done, laddies. They've been defeated." He puts his sword away, and he's looking around all the carnage. There is some scattered dead bodies. There's some people here on the boat. He says, "But even with this defeat, I feel we have days ahead of us for recovery." He's trying to act all heroic like he did something, but he walks up to us, and much like the other guys from earlier, he shakes our hands. He says, "Thank you. I will tell Lord Balthazar of what you have done here. What are your names?" And we tell him our names. He says, "Excellent. I am Captain something something Darkside." So let's figure out who this guy is. So let's get the dice out of here. Let's get these combat maps out of here. We are right here with the captain. We'll keep those dice nearby. Okay, so the captain is going to be one of the characters. I feel is an NPC at this point. He's going to be the captain. His name will be. Let's pull up names here. Okay. I'll pan my camera out just a bit so you guys can see the sheet, and I will adjust the zoom. There we go. Okay, excellent. So his name will be, let's roll 2 blues. We'll give him a first name. 6'5". Waverly, Captain Waverly. I like that actually, Captain Waverly. So let's pull out, so Captain Waverly, I like that. Let's pull out our journal. Okay. So Captain Waverly. So we defeated 3 water demons. Met Captain Waverly. So let's add this creature. Let's add this guy to our list here. Captain Waverly of the guard. Guard. He is. Let's say he's a coward. That's his identity. He's a coward. Okay, we're back in our map here. And he's thanking us for the assistance, and he promises to inform Lord Balthazar of what our heroic deeds have shown. So he runs off, and he's presumably going back to the capital. Now, are there any other screams from what we heard of earlier? Let's figure this out. I'd say probably not. I'm going to say the chaos factor is pretty high, or it's at 6. I'm going to say very unlikely there's other monsters about. No, that's a regular no. There is no other monsters. So, we will most likely conclude this episode at the harbor after we vanquished a handful of monsters today and fended off and assisted one gentleman, one merchant, gave him some medication, and our characters feel pretty proud of themselves, but we know that there's no longer any other creatures from this sudden attack on the city. So I think for the next episode we will have to go talk to the king or the lord. So no other monsters appeared. So there we go. Tells Lord. That's our keyword right there, the Lord himself. Okay, so I think because of that, the chaos factor is going to go down to 5. But that was quite entertaining, I think. I believe that went very well. I really did enjoy that episode. we had some encounters. We basically went from Maiden's Claw to this hall or this alleyway, the main market, and then we went to the harbor to defeat a manta rat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I think the next one we're going to focus on some lore, some some developing of the lore here, the setting, because we're going to talk to the king, see if we can even get in, which we might be able to because of what we've done. But I believe that's what's going to happen up next. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, next session.